Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another project for the Scrap FX design team. So I'm going to be creating a page in the Craft Junk journal from Scrap FX, and I'm using this collage paper which is called Rainbow Swatches. I'm just going to tear it to size, just tear off the excess around the edges just so I can fit it into the pages that I have in the journal that I'm going to use. I'm then adding some matte medium onto the page, just using this gift card to spread it. It just seemed like a really quick way to get it on there because it was quite a big space. And then I'm going to stick the collage paper in place. So I just spend, once it's on there, I do spend a little bit of time just gently kind of with my brush or my gift card, just gently pulling the matte medium around onto over the top of it, just so that some of that white kind of melts into the background a little bit more, and making sure that it's all stuck down as well. So it's worth spending a bit of time just doing that carefully, just to make sure it's all stuck down where you want it to be. So then I'm using, this is one of my favourite stencils from Scrap FX. This is called Majestic Moth. I'm using that with some black gesso. So this is like a bit of a mask, isn't it, this one? Because what you're left with is the imprint of the moth in white. So I'm using a blending tool and I'm just kind of dabbing the black paint through the Majestic Moth stencil, and going to leave me with the imprint of the moth in the centre of my page. So I wanted something that was a really good contrast against those lovely colours in the background. And you will notice in a bit that I do go in and add some more colours onto those too, because I couldn't resist it. You know how much I love rainbow colours, and I just could not stop myself adding more onto this page. So yeah, just taking my time, really gently, trying to make sure that I haven't got too much paint on my blending tool, because if you have, as you know, it will just leak underneath the image that you're trying to stencil or mask, and then you won't have a very crisp image that in the end. There are one or two places when I lift this up where I must have had too much paint on my blending tool, so it's easily done. But it didn't matter because I did spend a bit of time just outlining the moth and going all over all the shapes. I used a Signo Uniball in white to do that. Unfortunately, for some reason, I must have had a bit of a brain fart and forgot to record while I did that bit. So once it was dry, thoroughly dry, I used the Signo Uniball to outline the shapes in the moth. I've also just extended the black here just out at the edges, just so that the moth wasn't floating in the middle of the page. It just kind of anchors the image really on the page, makes it feel more part of the journal page. So here you're going to see I've outlined all the shapes using the Signo Uniball. You notice the colours. I've also used one of this Circles Galore B stencils, and I picked out the colours that matched the colours that were already on the Rainbow Swatches, and stenciled some circles going down the page matching the swatch colours that were in the background, just to bring a bit more colour to the foreground in this journal page. Then I've got my favourite permanent red violet light from Amsterdam Acrylic, and I'm just painting in the little circles on the moth just to draw attention to those a little bit, and just because I like this pink. As you know, it's one of my favourites, so you know, why wouldn't I add it more onto my page? Okay, so then I'm just using a black gel pen and I'm just outlining the circles again, just pulling those back forwards, using some quite sketchy lines. So this isn't a waterproof pen, but I wasn't planning to add any more wet media onto this page, so it didn't really matter that it wasn't waterproof. Then these are the scribble circle words from Scrap FX, new for October. So I am adding those onto my page using the Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher. So I couldn't staple it through at the top because I have a pocket on the previous page. So I just added a teeny tiny speck of clear glue up at the top just to anchor that top part of my page down. This is a fine applicator tip bottle, which is really so good for adding glue onto small things and into little tiny spaces where you want to be a bit more precise and wanging a glue stick around. So here's the finished page, bright and colourful with that striking image in the centre. So I hope you've enjoyed watching the video, and I do hope to see you again soon.